Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back and welcome newcomers. Always welcome. Everyone's welcome, all inclusive. These are my love connection readings that I do every single day. And I pick a featured sign, which is one of the signs of the zodiac, every single day until I've gone around the zodiac wheel. So I have a beginning of the month, first half of the month, like now, first half of July. Today's July 11th. And then I do the second half of the month around starting on the 15th. So every single sign gets 2 readings. And then, for those that are new, a format that I've been following for a while, and I think it's okay. I think most people like it. You can always comment and say, well, what if you were to do this and so forth? Because that's what this is about, just having like-minded people and sharing, the messages that come with the tarot that I love and have loved for 30 plus years. I do incorporate a little bit of astrology and numerology. I'm not an astrologist. I never claimed to be a professional astrologist. I've just fascinated and been studying it for a long time and want to continue to for the rest of my life. So I share little aspects of it because they actually do intertwine with tarot. And so we are in the beautiful featured sign today of Aquarius. That is the air sign. And I've told you from the beginning of the year, Aquarius, this is a very special, auspicious year for you because Jupiter, the benevolent planet that is about luck and transformation and love and magic and special favor. I'm going to say that today. Special favor that expands basically everything it touches. So you want to be very sure about what you're asking for and requesting in this year because it will get there for you. It will expand whatever you're talking about. If you want more business, you'll get it. Sometimes you may regret it. You'll say, whoa, I got to keep the balance going there, right? So that's all an individual situation. But this is your year. And it started, when was that? I want to say around the 17th or something of December last year. But it's full tilt all of January through May. Then we had the little stop and stint that it's in Jupiter, which is in right now, until the 28th of the month. And it goes back into your sign, Aquarius, through the 28th of December. What do you want? I mean, when Jupiter's in Aquarius, it's quite comfortable, quite frankly, because it's about the freedom, and that's what Jupiter is, the ability to expand, not the constriction, right? So it definitely caters as an air sign, being an air sign, to our mind and the ability to expand our thoughts and creativity and changing our thoughts, our perspective, seeing things from a different point of view, working on our communication, how we express ourselves in writing, in the written word, in our YouTube channels, in our anything you can imagine. And it's a very strong time, and will be for a long time now, 20 years plus, with the air element being a predominant one, where we're really going to start thinking and changing what we had normally done for X amount of time and expanding ourselves and just, breaking barriers for ourselves and helping others in the process. It's a really kind of a beautiful humanitarian sign, Aquarius. They're more than happy to share their knowledge, and they love working in groups and, in masses to bring that fairness about in this world, so that everybody's treated in a fair, everyone gets a fair shake, as they say. So that's what's going on. And I just want to say, I'm going to pick your highlighted connection, which I do every time. The highlighted connection is a spiritly, gifted and special message that comes to you. It's spontaneous. It's done right in front of you. And it has to do with a particular, other astrological sign or energy that sign exudes or characteristic wise. So I read 3 major categories for that. Yours today, Aquarius, is going to be, it's right on the cusp. That's crazy. It's on the cusp of Gemini, your fellow air sign, and Cancer. We're in Cancer season right now. I was going to mention a little more about that. Let me do it one more time. Spirit, please guide us into knowing the best possible outcome as far as the information for this wonderful highlighted connection for the beautiful sign of Aquarius for today, July 11th, 2021. Well, it went all the way to the other side. And interestingly enough, this was yesterday's highlighted, but I do 2 in a row if that's what Spirit wants. Sometimes 3 on a very rare occasion. But it is Libra. and that's your definite fellow air sign. And this is one of the better combinations you'll find in regards to compatibility. Any two air signs, or any two, I should say, any connections or combinations that are the same element generally just kind of resonate because they get each other. They have the fundamental aspects of themselves. Yes, they're different, even though they're both air. But the differences are easier to get along with. And there's just many times that I see in my many years of working with clients and doing readings and the compatibility aspects where I see Aquarius and Gemini, and Gemini actually, Aquarius and Libra together. So Aquarius is the beautiful, humanitarian sign. I already said that. Very much about fairness and very social, outgoing, wanting to see these grandiose ideas and inventive and very kind of, I would say, the rebellious kind of risk taker and the one who starts these things. They may not finish them, but they start them, they get them going, they get the word out. They have that empowerment, behind them, and people listen. They're a fixed sign. They're very determined to get out what they need to and their desires. The card that represents them in the tarot is the star. So it's really wishing about things that will be better for yourself, but everybody involved is the whole idea. And that's what I think more and more of this influence of air will be about. Working in communal ways, working more together to help, like co-ops coming back and all sorts of, definitely technology, new ideas in technology. I mean, that just keeps advancing itself. When you have a predominance of Aquarius in the charts or the planets, you're going to have amazing new discoveries and inventions coming out with technology and medicine and that sort of thing, because Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, and that's what Uranus represents, the planet. And it's quick and it's fast and it's out of the blue sometimes, and yet it can last for a lifetime, and it can transform you in phenomenal ways. So that's fantastic. Then you have Libra, which is as I said yesterday, if you weren't watching, Libra is the air sign that is the scales, always wanting to try to strive and find the balance, always recognizing the need to compromise and see another person's perspective. People say that Libras are very indecisive. I would say that because I am a Libra, that yes, there are times I'm indecisive. When I do make up my mind, it's done. It's a sealed deal. However, what I'm doing in the process, like so many Libras, is we're just trying to recognize every perspective, every point of view, thinking, overthinking. It's a lot. But, when we come to that final, we rationalize, we try to see everything as logical. We know life's not logical, but, we do it anyway. And we do it because we want to be fair. We want to be just in what we do and make sure that everybody has a fair shake. So that's the major characteristics, I would say, well, in a short general reading for Libra. They are ruled by Venus. So they love money, they love luxury, they love beauty, they love love. They love relationships. I know I love relationships, all kinds of relationships. And I feel, even though it's not, that's generally an inside situation, but I do feel and felt that loneliness when I didn't have that last year specifically, and even sometimes this year, and so yeah, it's just in getting over that in a spiritual way is really important. We're never alone, and it's okay to feel that way sometimes, and I get over it quickly, I promise. But so all that's changing right now. I would be surprised. We had the new moon in Cancer, and Cancer is about our heart. Cancer is the water sign. Cancer is our emotions and our vulnerabilities. And as both Aquarian and Libras know, and Geminis, we aren't necessarily known for that aspect. We're very much in our head, like I said. It's a masculine quality. And it's one of those things where we want to try to detach our emotions if we're doing our work and trying to do our best. But believe me, it's there. And so now, with this influence of Cancer season, and then the new moon that happened on the 9th and 10th, depending where you're located, I've been very emotional. And I thought to myself, it feels like a retrograde right now. I would just want to know if any of you want to comment, please do. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to just support my channel if you feel like it. It just takes a moment, and you don't get bothered by emails or anything like that, I promise. It's just a way to show me that you thumbs up with my channel and you want to come back. Excuse me, or share it. And it's very, very appreciated. It is. It means a lot. But the point is that I was feeling like it's just a retrograde feeling, but the new moons can do that. It's introducing newness and beginnings, and that means other things ends, but it's also a timely thing, right? And especially when it first is new, you don't want to just rush out and do new stuff because there's these tweaks that are happening. So as a massage therapist, as my, job that I do other than tarot, it has been crazy because my clients are just making all these changes. And I'm okay, but I feel a little personalized by it, and I think that's the Cancer too. But I want to be of help and service, so I'm like, of course I'll do that. It's more of an outward thing. I'm like, yeah, you need that. I'm there for you, and I don't know I can always do that, but it feels rewarding to do so. And then also just the fact that there's more energies right now prone to family, to the ones we love so much. We want to be with them. I say more because of vacation times, and it happens every year around this time, right? Because it's summer. Well, last year we couldn't, so now I think a lot of people are either on vacation or you're planning, and you're like, this has been so deep for me and so emotionally fulfilling. And there's this big phase of you, my sister included, where you're with your children now because you're saying goodbye before they go off to college, the empty nest, if that's the case. And it's a certain huge percentage of people now, which I went through, a while back, and sort of over. Mostly over. It was a change for sure. You know what I'm speaking of. So there's a really big emphasis on family home. Maybe you want to decorate or buy a new home, vacation home. That is the emphasis right now. So I'm just curious if you are feeling that, because that would be available to you, working in your favor. And then I have a wonderful brother whose birthday is coming up on the 13th. So there's romance involved more than other times too, because it is a heart association time. So I like that a lot for you, Aquarius and Libra. So let's see what these messages have to say for the two of you. Since I feel like you're very much in tune, and I think things are really starting to really pick up. I've noticed that. And also, like I said, the lines of communication may have been better now lately and continue to be than they've been in a long, long time for whatever reason. That's always a beautiful thing. We do have Jupiter, like I said, for a short more time, in the sign of Pisces till the end of this month on the 28th. And then it comes back into Pisces at the end of this year and through most of next year. That's about healing. That's about our incredible intuition and, being centered and recognizing our gifts and our ability to pick up on what's necessary and listen to ourselves and expand our ideas and creativity. And so that's huge too. And like I said, that's what Jupiter does, is expands it. So you both may be having this Libra Aquarius combination, might be coming up with some amazing ideas to do stuff that you just hadn't thought of before. Let's see what the cards have to say. First card is always the overall energy that brought you to the reading. Now we are on the 11th, and you are the 11th sign. That's pretty cool too today. So, the month's already transpired, but sometimes it takes a while for the energies, and they're always changing. So you may feel it today, you may resonate right away, and it may happen at the end of the month, with the combination of both readings, right? Your first card is Justice, though, and I got this yesterday. How interesting. And that is Libra, and I have been shuffling these. So Justice upright is, for any questions, usually the rule of thumb with tarot is, upright is yes, upside down is no, and then reasons why and so forth. But yeah, something wonderful transpiring is going in your favor. Yes, it could certainly include some kind of a court case, because swords represent institutions, law, a lot of times for the fairness, certainly Libra. But winning a case, making a case, in your relationships, in your whatever you're wanting to state and make clear. The clarity's there. The Mercury retrogrades, although you can't tell by my talking, it's definitely over. The shadow period was over on the 7th of July. So we're clear there. Yes, we have outer planets that are retrograde, but the energies are lessened, but they're still, they're still as powerful as they can be and need to be, I should say, not as they can be. And this is a beautiful, beautiful card to get, because you're feeling not only the justice in maybe a certain circumstance, but just within yourself, once again, feeling balanced, feeling, I want to just say, more open and regulated, and the clarity once again, because that represents the air sign. So let's move on, though. Let's see what else this narrative has to say. That's a beautiful start, okay? I always like to know that justice is being served in some form in our life. Maybe you're waiting on some money and it has not come through. There's a lot of that happening. And you're going to be hearing from that. You will be hearing from that. This new moon definitely expedites things in that nature. So let's see. The second category is possible blessings or obstacles. And you've got the world. Wow. So 2 major arcanas. Now the world, there's a few indications about this. First and foremost, it is an absolute transformation. I mean, it's from one stage of life to another. As I mentioned, it could be the saying goodbye to children that you've not had to say goodbye to thus far. It is about welcoming in a new child. Absolutely. The initiation of, the childbearing years. It is about a move, whether in your mind, whether you've made a decision you are incredibly set on as a fixed sign that Aquarius is. You've been thinking about it. We all think a lot when we're air signs. You've been internalizing it. You've been going back and forth, and you're saying, this is it. Your conviction is the strongest it's been. And basically, you have the world in your hand when you have this card. It is a vortex to what it is you want to see happening, moving through that new vortex of whatever it is for your life. And interestingly enough, in each corner, you have the 4 fixed signs, which is what you are. So that's a very interesting, important aspect of this card for you, Aquarius. So changes, opportunities once again. But you're going to be very instrumental. It's like, what are you going to do to excel this? Because you always have that help from source. And it looks as though with everything being set in a balanced justice way to begin with, it's a very positive, motivating kind of energy, and it's going to come through, and you're going to be and it could be, like I said, it'll change your life as you know it thus far, and that happens a lot with different things. So, but I love it. So let's go on to the final category, which is the card of finances. And it does have to do with your material life, of course, but it also has to do with what you consider to be, what you would consider wealth in your life. Is it your finances? Is it your relationship? Is it your happiness, your ideas, your just love of self, and finally recognizing your worth? That's the kind of energy the world is. You've got this, and you can be seen, and you can feel good and empowered. And it may have taken you so many years to get here, but you're here. And to fully utilize it in a year that has Jupiter in your sign, Aquarius, it's really indicating so much right now. And in your finance cards, you have the Knight of Cups. So the Knight are messengers, okay? They're not as young and green, if you will, and immature, or like kind of not a lot of information necessarily, just the beginning stages as the Cups might present. But they too are messengers. But the Knight of Cups is about our heart again. That's about our love. That's family. That is our deepest relationships, love of self, everything I've expressed to you. And bringing information about that is going to make you happy. And it has to do with the money or the wealth of that. So maybe things are just going so well. Maybe something's coming in from this Justice card financially that's going to set up this new aspect that has to do with your love, your relationships, your family. Everything I mentioned, the Cups being the Cancer season, this Pisces, Jupiter in Pisces right now, still Cancer season. Just, heart chakra, emotion, fulfillment, creativity. And that's wonderful, right? That's wonderful, because when you're creative and you're feeling like you are doing what you're so content and happy to do, the money follows. I've heard this many times, and I thought, okay, it's so true, because you don't even think a lot of times, and a lot of people do this, believe it or not, and you can too. You can have a job that doesn't feel like work because you enjoy it that much, but you get paid because, you do have to pay the bills. But when you have that feeling, you don't concern or worry yourself or put those blocks of, restriction or, just that feeling of scarcity that comes sometimes in our lives. You don't do that, because it's coming from here. It's pure, it's authentic, and the rest just falls into place. It's like a side effect that the universe does. Wonderful, beautiful reading. Absolutely balanced and filled with opportunities, infinite opportunities, and love, and financial rewards, and satisfaction and comfort. And that's important to Cancers. They want that for everybody and themselves. And I'll finish the rune that I used to culminate this highlighted reading, and then I let you know what it is by what its name is. And I always put it on the second category, which is the possible blessings or obstacles. The world is a great, great blessing, I think. The obstacle just might be not quite there, not 100% sure if you're ready to walk through that vortex, but that's okay. Be kind and gentle with yourself. It happens exactly when it needs to, and you are, like I said, being guided. There's a definite feeling of divine guidance with certainly Jupiter in Pisces. But so I look at it almost like the letter B, but I'm going to look in the back to make absolutely sure. Don't know if you can see that. I'll set it right here and be absolutely sure for you by the cheat sheet I have. And that particular rune is, it's Berkana. Starts at the B. And that's actually number 18. So 1 plus 8 equals a 9. And 9s usually mean completion, because you've got 1 through 9 and then 10. 10, drop to 0, come back to 1 again. It's the vortex of the world. It's like you're stopping one cycle that you've been familiar with to this point, and you're moving into the new one, and it's exciting and exhilarating, but it's a little scary, but it's, you want it, you're going to go for it. And actually the unknown aspect is probably what's propelling you forward, knowing you, Aquarius, because you're all about trying things and being adventurous, and that's who you are. It's really very endearing. And so I'll go in and read a little more for you about this and see how synchronistic it is with the reading, because they can be, the runes have been an amazing addition that I decided to do, because I asked for a gift of these last December, and honestly, I just love how it just ties in so well, and Spirit saying, that's right, MaryAnne, we're here with you. We're here to help you and to help with the messages. So let's go to 18. It's the word associated is birch, and I think of the birch tree for some reason, but it's always kind of a beautiful, they grow really, really tall, and they're kind of a white bark, and it's a summery kind of beautiful plant. And well, trees are earth-like, and they're so full of wisdom. I heard something recently on the radio, and it just really touched my heart, because to know how much trees have seen and have withheld through any kind of circumstances, not all of them do with fires and stuff, we know that. But some, like the redwoods, living upwards of 1,000 years. I mean, just knowing that, no wonder they say hug a tree, because the knowledge they have, within them, and the things they've seen is pretty amazing. And that's just coming to mind. So the knowledge, the world, the information, all kind of really just synchronistically making sense of this reading. The period is between March 15th and March 29th. So that was actually between the Pisces, I'm hearing a horn in the background, I'm sorry, Pisces, and then it goes into Taurus. Nope, Pisces and Aries, forgive me. So yes, something that happened and was transpiring then, Aquarius / Libra, instigated something, and it doesn't surprise me, because this year was kind of starting like it left off, and then come, you know, the beautiful spring and the first sign of the zodiac Aries and the beginning of our astrology year in March. Yeah, this is all making perfect sense. New, transformation, so on and so forth. The words associated are energy, success, genius, activity, self-control, self-mastery, victory, over-intrigue, and passions. Well, that's pretty amazingly beautiful. This is passion for sure when you've got the cups, and my gosh, the world, everything it says, it's just absolutely beautiful. Once again, very, very in tune with your reading. So I'll move on to read the oracles that I like to pull different every month. And I picked this, I think for the Pisces reading in last month's mid-months, because it's such a beautiful deck. And it's called the Starseed Oracle. So I pick a particular card for you, specifically Aquarius, in every single one of your connections now. So this is where everybody can get a reading with my readings, not just the highlighted connection, okay? So if you fast forwarded to this, no worries. And your particular card today, Aquarius, is, as the 11th sign, Star Brothers. Or sisters, right? Just a term. Aurous energy, protection, loyalty, safety, and trust. Ooh, and there's two, so there's this partnership thing, and that's that whole thing about you and Libra as well. A real importance in partnership in whatever it is that is to you is really going to be a very recognized theme for the years coming up. It's always good to be independent. I know it's great to have that ability to be in charge and have the control, but boy, it's nice to have that partnership that works and you can work with others. It's a beautiful thing. So that's what I'm feeling from this. Let's read for you. I will read for you specifically. I have not picked this one that I know of. And I love these. They're beautifully illustrated. Birds are, of course, wisdom. Okay, so what are the Star Brothers? Are we in the back? Star family, star bathing. We're getting there. You're more protected than you can imagine. It's safe to open the back of your heart. I've not heard that before, except for in yoga. You're being called to be open to receiving a new level of support now from those in your life and from the benevolent beings you're connected with because of Jupiter. Oh my gosh, and there's so many more. Benevolent angels. All you need to do is ask. That's our next oracle. Through ancestral patterning, current life traumas, and past life karmic impressions, many of us have become mistrustful and suspicious of loyalty and have blocks when it comes to receiving support. We've learned that we need to go at life alone. That it's not safe to let our guard down and our heart open, and that the world isn't a friendly place. And you've got the World card. Just saying. The Star Brothers want you to have a new experience of life on Earth. They want you to feel deeply secure and safe, even if you're going through a difficult time. They want you to hand over your fears to them, to see them as opportunities to let in more love. They're guiding you to stay open to receiving a greater level of support than you can ever imagine, both in the world and beyond. Like the stars. To call in your team of loyal protectors and supporters, both physically and energetically. They want you to learn to soften through life's ups and downs and to learn to open your heart, especially when it most wants to harden. How perfect is that for a heart-centered, specific time of Cancer and that new moon, right? That points right to our heart chakra. And the ability to open up, like I was saying from the beginning, of the influences we can feel if we choose. You know, it's there, and I think a lot of us are, and I think you are too. So that's beautiful. And speaking of angels, I love the support of my guides and my angels, and I talk to them daily, and they do talk to me in different ways, and I appreciate it so much. And so I've been picking an angel card for a long time. And so I wanted this month to be where I picked a specific angel card that would last the whole month and longer in their message to you. So Aquarius, in all your loving relationships, for you this month of July, your message from the angels is focus. And I can understand that right off the bat because we had the retrograde and it was in Gemini, and that's your fellow air. So any air sign was going to be even more affected because we were the same element. Of course, Mercury is the ruling planet of Gemini, and so they were really, really noticing it, I think. And of course, the side effects from Mercury retrograde is a lack of communication or clarity, and things get, misrepresented, or you say the wrong thing at the wrong time, or you forget to say the right thing. All those variables have to do with communication. And that went forward. So the focus is back. The ability to speak and feel authentic and, empowered in that is very, very much happening for you now. So that's beautiful. And just remind yourself to focus, because I have to do that. When you have too much going on in the mind with the air element aspect, you need to literally say out loud, okay, focus. And as soon as you do that, put your hand on your heart. It clears it up. It's a kind of an easy fix. Focus on whatever you want, and it will expand. Final card for you today, and message from the Oracle, is that of the Super Attractor Manifestation deck, about bringing the life into existence that you choose. It's an inside job. You need to feel it into existence. The emotion has to be coming through. That's like the last aspect of the law of attraction. There's the mind, there's the seeing and the believing, but there's the feel and the emotion, right? The feel good emotion. To get feel good back things, okay? Your specific, beautiful message for today is, you've got a whole bunch of stars here, and that's a beautiful indication that we're reading for you today, Aquarius. I choose to be a super attractor and have unwavering faith in the universe. And when you have that, be prepared for just all sorts of amazing, amazing manifestations that can come through. Faith is a huge part of allowing and, manifesting. So, isn't that gorgeous card? Beautiful reading. I really don't know what to say. I hope you feel this right now. You have been feeling it. You are having vacations. You are spending more time and, dedicating it to those specific people you love, your home, redecorating, whatever it is. I'm with you, and I care about you. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Come back for your mid-month reading. Until then, thanks and bye for now.